The Pope expresses concern over recent violence in the Middle East during his Easter Sunday Urbi et Orbi address. 8 people are missing after the collapse of a 4-story building in the southern French city of Marseille.
Israel has struck military targets in Syria early Sunday morning after Syria launched 6 rockets in 2 batches late Saturday night.
Pope Francis has addressed the flare-up in tensions between Israel and Palestinians during his traditional Urbi et Orbi Easter Sunday address.
Manifesto viva preoccupazione per gli attacchi di questi ultimi giorni che minacciano l'auspicato clima di fiducia e di rispetto reciproco necessario per riprendere il dialogo tra israeliani e palestinesi, così che la pace regni nella città santa e in tutta la regione.
This Sunday was sacred both to Christians and Jews who flocked to Jerusalem's Western Wall. There was a heavy police presence around the Al-Aqsa Mosque in the wake of Friday's attacks in Tel Aviv and the West Bank, which killed 3.
The U.S. calls for restraint over China's military exercises near Taiwan. It's after 8 Chinese warships and 71 planes were detected on Saturday near Taiwan, according to the island's Ministry of Defense. The 3-day Chinese military exercise is in retaliation for a meeting last week between the U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Kevin McCarthy and the president of the self-ruled democracy claimed by Beijing, Tsai Ing-wen. Gallagher says he wants Congress to work on stepping up its military commitments to Taiwan. However, China had warned US lawmakers not to have the meeting and now warns America against what it calls a wrong and dangerous road. On Saturday, the Taiwanese Navy warned the Navy ships that they were harming regional peace, stability and security and asked them to turn around and leave. Otherwise, the Taiwanese force would take expulsion measures.
Thousands of opposition supporters gathered outside the Georgian parliament in Tbilisi on Sunday amid growing criticism of the government for its pro-Russian authoritarian ways. The protest was called by the main opposition group, the United National Movement, founded by imprisoned former president Mikhail Saakashvili. The demonstrators are demanding the release of political prisoners and the implementation of reforms sought by the EU to grant Tbilisi candidate status. The government of the ruling Georgian Dream Party has been accused of imprisoning opponents, silencing independent media and collaborating secretly with the Kremlin. 8 people are missing after the collapse of a 4-story building in the southern French city of Marseille. Fire under the rubble has hampered efforts to find survivors. An explosion happened in the early hours of the morning, and although the cause is unknown, a gas leak hasn't been ruled out.
On a entendu une explosion à minuit et demi, 1h du matin cette nuit, une très forte explosion qui nous a fait sursauter. Et voilà, et on a regardé par la fenêtre ce qui se passait et on a vu de la fumée, et des cailloux et des gens qui couraient.
Nous ne pourrons pas savoir aujourd'hui qu'est-ce qui a causé cette très grande déflagration. Madame la procureure de la République a saisi la police judiciaire de Marseille qui fera évidemment l'intégralité de la vérité sur ces faits.
The location of the building in a narrow street of the port city has further hindered the rescue effort. A toxic smoke cloud drifted over Hamburg on Sunday after a large fire broke out in several warehouses in the east of the city. Residents were warned by mobile phone app to shut their windows and turn off their ventilation systems, and road and rail traffic were heavily disrupted.
Es wurde uns ein Feuer gemeldet auf einem Gelände der dort hier ansässigen Firma. Es brannte initial eine Lagerhalle. Inzwischen ist diese Lagerhalle aus diversen Gründen auf weitere Lagerhallen übergegriffen. Wir haben eine Rauchwolke, die durch die halbe Stadt zieht, wofür wir aktuell auch warnen über unsere Warnsysteme.
Reports said the fire had involved containers with hydrogen sulfide. Some 200 firefighters brought the blaze under control by Sunday afternoon.
Some barely sleep, others fear spending time indoors, and many more have developed a profound fear of the mountains that had been their source of well-being. Turkish earthquake survivors clinging to the foot of soaring cliffs of ancient Antakya are quietly suffering the lingering toll of a disaster that killed more than 50,000 people 2 months ago.
Zaten yatmıyorum ben saat 2-3'te öyle bir şey yatıyorum yani. Ama saat 5'te geri kalkıyorum. 3'te yatıyorum saat 5-6'yı geçmez yani kesinlikle. Uyanıyoruz geri. İşte benim oğlum var Antalya'daki, o her zaman kendi kendine bağırıyor. Geldi bir hafta yanımda kaldılar. Gece kaç defa 4-5 defa bağırıyor. Depremden dolayı korkuyor yani.
Volunteer psychiatrist Aral Turk tries to heal the anguished by driving around the disaster zone with a box full of pills in his car and a notepad for recording emotions.
En sık gördüğümüz 3 ruhsal hastalık bu süreçte akut stres reaksiyonları, bunun yanında kayıplara bağlı yas reaksiyonları ve geçmiş psikiyatrik hastalıkların, geçmişte hastanın halihazırda deprem öncesi olan hastalıkların geri alevlenmesi şeklinde.
On the day of the disaster, Sevgi's baby was only 15 days old. Now this young mother lives in fear.
Tabii ki yani deprem olduğu o kadar hala da sallanıyoruz ara sıra. O yüzden korkularımız oluyor tabii ki. Yani kendimizi geçtik, bebeklerimiz var, o yüzden endişeliyiz.
3 million people have been displaced by the earthquakes in Turkey, according to the International Organization for Migration, and many of those present symptoms of PTSD.
Today marks the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Belfast Agreement. It brought an end to a war lasting almost 30 years between Irish Catholics and British Protestants over the status of Northern Ireland. But as Ken Murray reports, while there is a welcome peace, progress across a range of political issues has been frustrating and slow.
Joe O'Donnell walks along a specially constructed peace wall in Belfast that still separates working-class British Protestants from neighbouring Irish Catholics. He says while the 1998 Good Friday Agreement brought peace to Northern Ireland, it has not eased tensions.
I don't think anybody would say that the peace process 25 years on has delivered in its entirety, and it probably hasn't delivered as much as people would have hoped for or expected after 25 years.
Over 3,700 people died in the Northern Ireland conflict between 1969 and 1998, with over 47,000 people injured. For the generation born in 1998 who have not experienced daily violence, they feel that the peace agreement is still not delivering what it promised.
I feel it's definitely delivered a bit, but there's definitely more work that could be done.
We have relatively peace, and I feel very privileged to experience that. You know, if I listen to my parents, they talk about very terrible times. Obviously, the political process is another question. Stormont's been down more than it's been up, so that's something I think is frustrating for people here.
The Northern Ireland Parliament is currently not sitting in a row over the fallout from Brexit, with unionists feeling they have been isolated from Great Britain. Experienced observers take the view that while the agreement delivered some progress between the two divided communities, the 1998 peace agreement remains one of the most respected models of conflict resolution in the entire world.
Many nationalists and many unionists find there are things in the Good Friday Agreement they don't particularly like. But viewed from other conflicts, other parts of the world, the achievement of substantial peace in what seemed like an intractable conflict, in what seemed like one of those conflicts that simply would not end, is a remarkable achievement.
There are over 100 peace walls here in Belfast, just like this one, which separate pro-Irish Catholics from pro-British Protestants. The very fact that these walls exist at all is living proof that when it comes to the full implementation of the 1998 peace agreement, there's still plenty of more work to be done. This is Ken Murray for Euronews in Belfast.
Czech believers have revived an old Easter tradition, the rattling procession. Participants in black suits with white masks march through the southern Czech Republic city of Česká Budějovice. From Maundy Thursday to Holy Saturday, they walk through the town with drums, clappers and rolling wooden rattles to mark the rhythm of the day. The deafening sound replaces the bells which have gone to Rome to be blessed by the Pope for the following year's work, according to tradition. Theatre director Vita Marsic brought this custom to this city from Moravia years ago. At the time, he was accompanied by only about 10 friends. For him as a believer, however, the Passion Week is above all a time of reflection and prayer.
My se modlíme za Ukrajinu i za lidi, ale měli bychom se modlit i za Rusko, za ruské lidi, nemyslím za vedení, ale možná, že i za ně, protože neví, co činí. V tom je to, prostě je to zapeklité. My jsme naštvaní na lidi, ale ve skutečnosti je to velký problém. Prostě lidi to neradi slyší, ale je to ďábelské.
In the middle of the procession, the Golgotha altar is carried, symbolically denouncing human vices such as hatred, laziness and envy. This extraordinary spectacle culminates at the square where crosses are erected.